They protect us from diseases, bacteria, and injury. They can enrich and save our lives. They keep us safe in many ways, from the day we were born, whether at home or at work. As our hands are usually the first point of contact, gloves provide us with our first line of defense. Protecting and saving lives. This has been Top Glove's mission since its inception.
Fresh from their 1.37 billion ringgit acquisition of one of the world's largest surgical glove manufacturer, Astro. In the studio with me is the Managing Director of Top Glove Berhad, Datuk Lee Kim Miao, here to discuss a little bit more, not just about the business of Top Glove, but also the whole aspiration of the company and how they desire to be upfront. Datuk, you have been quoted in the press by saying that if you want to become, or if Top Glove wants to become one of the Fortune 500 companies, you have to do a little bit different from what you do today. Before we dive further into that, I just want to focus on the fact that you have stated that you want to become a Fortune 500 company. That sets a big aspiration on the kind of dreams that the company has set. Do you have what it takes to be the Fortune 500 company of Malaysia? Or the world, from Malaysia?
Yes, we aspire to dream big, and we have a lot of people, young talents and experienced staff that want to make this dream come true.
When you say that, you know, the market is quite pleasantly interested in how you guys went for listing in 2001, today, while there are roughly about 50 glove manufacturers, there are 2 or 3 considerable ones to speak about other than Top Glove. Hartalega is one of them, Cosson Rubber is another one. But by far, Top Glove is still leading the market. What makes the way you do things slightly different from the way, say, Hartalega, Cosson, and many others do things? Why is it that you guys keep on coming up tops and the others keep on trailing behind?
Well, good leadership from our founder and chairman, Tan Sri Lim Vichai. And I always say that he probably chose a good name in the Top Glove that motivate us to always remain at the top, and also motivate us to put in the extra effort to be better and better. And secondly, it comes to a lot about setting the right business direction. Top Gloves is very particular to say that when in business, we need to set the right business direction, meaning that to produce consistently good quality gloves at low and efficient costs. So if you have this quality and cost coming in, plus you add in the extra good customer service, the world is your market.
Okay, so there's 3 things here. Good leadership, set good business direction, good customer care. I think people can envision what setting good business would be like. They can read the press releases, they can see where Top Glove's heading, a lot of analyst reports. In fact, this morning alone, I got 2 analyst reports speaking about Top Glove. And people can understand what customer care is, or great customer care is. People want to know more about the leadership of Tan Sri Lim that I've been hearing about for the past few years. If you were to summarize the style and leadership of Tan Sri Lim, what would be the 2 or 3 things that you want to talk about?
Extremely disciplined and very hands-on. That would be the few words I like to describe him. And always showing a good example to lead the big group of people to achieve greater excellence.
And of course, you are now leading the company from the captain's ship. You are the MD of the company. Do you take or you draw upon the leadership that he has shown and try to inculcate it in the way you run the business?
Yes, I think we have a big group of good colleagues, and other than a good business direction, it's also extremely important to develop the software side of the business, which I call the culture. Because for any business to move from small to medium to larger size, you need to build the foundation very well. Because without a good foundation, it's not easy to sustain. You will not last the pace, and you will not be able to grow to a bigger and bigger size, let alone to aspire for Fortune 500. So this is where the software side is not easy to copy. Hardware, it could be easy. You could purchase hardware, you could purchase machinery, etc. But the software side, something that we are very happy to share, would be example, the ethics side, the culture side, plus the health side, which are the key pillars in our day-to-day life in the company.
If I were to focus the rest of this interview on, it's on these three elements that you speak of.
Yes.
People keep on saying that good foundation is important for business. How do you build a good foundation for Top Glove? Are these the three areas that you are speaking of, healthcare and many other, and culture
Ethics, yes.
and ethics?
Yes, yes. I think the first and most important is the mental health care, which with good mental health care, it can lead you to achieve a lot more successes. Take for instance the badge I'm wearing at the moment. It has a sign to say, anti-corruption and no bribery. We learned this from the Malaysian police more than 10 years ago. At that time when we saw the Malaysian police having a very big badge to say anti-rasuah, we were very excited and said, that's the way to go. We like to follow them. So we immediately put on the badge, and since then we have been wearing this badge, encouraging our suppliers to wear them, our visitors and etc. And the culture has grown from here, the practice has grown stronger and stronger, so much so that everyone recognizes that we treasure these values very much. And in fact, even in our operations, before we start every meeting nowadays, we would have the ethics clap. The ethics clap basically would be saying top glove, top honesty, top integrity, and top transparency. So this culture has guided us very well in our dealings with all the stakeholders in the industry. I think it's very important to do that, because for Malaysia to aspire to be a developed nation, this is an area we have to address very urgently. You look at developed countries like Japan, Germany, Norway, Switzerland. All these developed countries have a good control over the ethics side, over the anti-corruption side, and so on.
The past few months, I have just returned from some of the countries that you mentioned, Germany, Sweden, Japan. The corporates that I went there are truly astounding in terms of how they try to inculcate good behavior through fantastic culture, and it permeates from the top leadership all the way down. The way I see you explaining the behavior of your company, it resembles a lot like these companies that I've seen in Germany and Japan in particular. Is leadership by example still the way to go for drumming down the whole or changing the behavior of the company, including from the staff, from the low end staff all the way to the high, top management? Is that the way to go for, inculcating a fantastic behavior for the company?
Yes, I should say that it has to be a very structured program whereby you have a lot of exercises, a lot of initiatives going on to continue to keep this alive. And to do this, we have worked very closely with MACC, we have worked closely with Transparency International, we have worked closely with Institute Integrity Malaysia and the police to do our part to improve this area, which is very important for the nation. And at the same time, we have also a lot of training programs. We have reached out to our new trainees. The very first day they joined the company, we have made it a compulsory exercise to brief them on this area. And on a regular basis, monthly basis, I conduct trainings to inculcate the value of these important attributes that are necessary for our success. And on top of that, we also work very closely with the Business Integrity Alliance, which is a body that's working closely with the government to tackle areas of concern or hotspots in the industry.
What other culture is being upheld in Top Glove?
Very transparent culture and a lot to do with honesty. And this goes very strongly with our business tagline of Top Glove, top quality, top efficiency, be honest, and safety first. So all these are important attributes that we put in our system. We always say that it's good to be ethical, it's good to be disciplined, but don't forget the safety side and don't forget the healthy side, because the safety and healthy could set us back very badly if we don't pay attention to it.
One of the core reasons why people are not honest is because of the repercussion that follows thereafter. If I made a mistake and I own up to it and I am severely punished for it, this educates me in a sense that I will not be honest the next time round because I don't want to face that kind of repercussion. Do you think that that kind of mindset is true in terms of enhancing or inhibiting people from being honest? Do you think that punishment disables people from being honest in the future?
I think it has got a lot to do with the training and the education side. We have the benefit of speaking to a lot of our Japanese customers. You know, we always ask them that what's wrong with the Japanese people? Why are they so disciplined? Why do they queue up hours and hours under the hot sun after the tsunami incident in Japan? So they told us that it all started with education at a very young level. Children are taught to be honest. Children are taught to say no. Children are taught not to take something that doesn't belong to them. Children are taught to protect the environment. Children are taught to be considerate to others and to be aware that they are living in a world where everybody else has a stake in it. So I think the education is very important. We need to pay a lot more attention to have the education ingrained in the future generation, so that in future they will take it as honesty is normal, dishonesty is abnormal. I think these are the hallmark of a good developed nation.
These kind of lessons that you speak of, particularly in how we educate our young, they don't necessarily happen in the classroom. It's how we interact with others.
Yes.
It's how we learn from our elders.
Yes.
It's how we learn from outside the school.
Yes.
We've read enough reports and we've been to enough, at least for me personally, I've been to enough schools in Japan to know that they don't learn anything in the first few years of their lives.
Yes.
They just learn how to live with each other.
Yes,
Precisely. Until the age of about 9 or 10.
Yes.
Then that's when they start learning stuff,
Yes.
like academic stuff. Do you think that companies like yourself can set a great example for the Malaysian society in trying to introduce this kind of education to our young?
Yes, we share these values all the time, and we have been invited in many sharing sessions with other corporates, with Matrade, and even with visiting delegations from other countries that come to our Top Glove Tower in Shah Alam. So we continue to do our part as a responsible corporate citizen to share good values, because we believe that good values must be shared. And these are also one of the drawing points for retaining staff, because when the staff come to Top Glove, they know that they only learn good values. They learn a lot of good values like good ethics, honesty, integrity, and also they learn about good health, which is very important, very extremely critical factors for them to move up the corporate ladder.
Let's move on to some business questions right now. The 1.37 billion ringgit acquisition of SPN, this will jumpstart your entry into the surgical glove business. And of course, as I was hearing on Breakfast Grill on BFM this morning, it was more of taking the third and fourth position of where you guys are right now into a different stage. Is this inorganic growth the kind of things that we can expect from Top Glove going forward? You guys are sitting on a pile of cash.
Yes.
I presume that there's a lot of shopping in store.
Yes. We have set it as a KPI upon us to make inorganic moves, inorganic expansion moves every year from this year onwards. End of last year, the Astro merger is the biggest acquisition that we have to date, and also the biggest transaction in the glove industry. So we are very excited, and moving forward, you could hear more from us on the inorganic expansion, whether it is mergers and acquisition or...
Does this include the entry or the expansion of your business in the industry glove as well?
Yes.
Industrial glove as well, because
yes.
of this M&A that is going to be put on the table right now. Are you going to, acquire another, industrial glove manufacturer?
Yes, we are talking to some companies, and these are ongoing exercises that we are having. In fact, many things going on at the same time, whether it's expansion in Vietnam, building the condom project, as well as looking at potential targets for us to branch into related but interesting field. So all these are ongoing, and it makes things very exciting and plenty of potential to look forward to.
You were mentioning about Vietnam this morning. Melissa didn't ask that. What's happening in Vietnam with Top Glove?
It's an interesting place for us to further our business expansion, because the time is right for us to move into this country, taking into consideration that China, the competitiveness has somehow been reduced over the years because of the higher costs and etc. So Vietnam is ripe for us to move in and to supplement our business operation from China. We still have a vinyl glove factory there, so it'll be good for our China colleagues to also have the opportunity to venture into Vietnam to manage another operation there.
So this is more of improving your output, improving your production capability of your
capability, and also giving the customer a better choice in terms of the option to source from a different country. Like when we brought the CPE and the TPE gloves back from China to Malaysia, our Japanese customers and European customers were very delighted, because for the first time they have the option to source this type of gloves outside China. And to them, it is a very good option and a very good alternative for them.
What kind of capital outlay can we expect from the Vietnam expansion?
We could talk about 100 million. For instance, the land could be about 45 million. The building, machinery, etc. will contribute the balance, making a total about 100 million.
And do you expect to make these purchases in cash because of the high cash flow?
We are looking various options, because bankers always tell us that it's not good to always pay by cash.
Yeah. I mean, they have to grow their business as well.
Yes. And as we expand and grow organically and organically, we also want to make all the parties happy. Because when you have business for the bankers, they are happy. You have more business for the suppliers to provide the goods to you, they are happy. You have more potential for the company to grow, the employees will be happy, and the customers will be happy. So it's a win-win situation for all.
Yeah, but the unsyndicated note of $300 million for
yes,
the...
310 million US dollars.
$310 million US.
Yes.
This is also another way of you managing your cash flow.
That's right.
So we can expect something along the lines of this.
Yes. I think we are looking at the most optimal option of managing our financing, because it's important. And based on the good reputation that we built up over the past 27 years, we have a lot of bankers wanting to do business with us, because we have proven to them, we have executed very well whatever plans that we have outlined. And so the consistency is always there. Reputation built over 27 years, and they know that we will not do anything wrong, because we treasure our reputation very, very much.
The Top Glove is one of the rare companies in Malaysia that benefits from a weak ringgit. In fact, because of the ringgit strengthening towards the end of the year, earnings expectations were hit slightly. Everybody was expecting the company to hit above 1 billion ringgit revenue. You were falling short of that, about 900 plus million. The ringgit is not expected to strengthen any further, I suppose, for this year. People are expecting it to hover within this range. Do you think that this business will see a stabilization of revenue, considering that the ringgit is going to be stable for future years?
Yeah, we are happy that the ringgit has stabilized, because on a whole, it's good for Malaysia. Even though a weakened ringgit will be good for exporters, but we always say that we prefer the good for the whole country rather than the good for only export-oriented companies. We always tell ourselves that whether the ringgit is weakening or strengthening, whether the raw materials are going up or going down. These are actually external factors, meaning that they are either headwinds or tailwinds that we couldn't control. So all the time we encourage our colleagues not to worry about it too much, not to worry about it too much you know, in a state of paralysis. So it's better, you know, to focus on what you could control and do more in the areas of innovation, R&D, quality improvement, and etc. to move yourself to a higher level.
Speaking about R&D, the Aspian merger is going to bring together the two aspects of your laboratories together, the R&D of Aspian as well as your own R&D. Do you think that that is the one area that you guys need to do a little bit more in terms of investing in R&D? I mean, after all, it can be patented, you can still own the IP of these products. Do you think that more should be done, at least by your firm, in the aspect of research and development?
Yes, precisely. In fact, R&D will be the future of a company. We always tell our colleagues that no R&D, no future. This is where about 5 years ago, Top Glove established a dedicated R&D center, and currently it's manned by 120 researchers. We have about 16 PhD staff. We have about 20 over master students. And all this will form the backbone of where Top Glove will be in the future. And also at the same time, not forgetting innovation and automation and digitalization, very important for us. I like what Dato' Wan Peng of MDEC said. She mentioned something about it's very important for Malaysian business to foolproof their business, you know, future-proof, to future-proof their business. That means you must digitize your company to survive in the next era. So this is where we work closely with the government, with MDEC in particular, to see how we could, you know, move from this good position to a better position.
What kind of things are you looking at in terms of the output with your collaboration with MDEC, particularly in digitizing your business?
Yes, precisely. We have a lot of test runs, a lot of discussions to talk about how to apply technology to the production line such that it will have the effect of reducing manual labor, such that you will have the effect of giving faster response, such that you have the effect of providing tools for you to make better decisions. Some of them are like big data, sensors, you know, logistics, you know, and etc.
And of course, this is also trying to see that there has to be some money involved as well in terms of the R&D.
Yes.
Are you guys prepared to double down your bets or increasing the capital required for generating the necessary R&D output?
Certainly. We have put R&D as a very important pillar in our operation. And over the years, we continue to do well in this area. And the merger with Aspion put us in a different league because Aspion is a company that has made a very critical breakthrough in the surgical glove sector. They've come up with a glove that's so special that it uses this molecular polymer technology to manufacture. And it gives very, very good protection to the users, the surgeons. And it has received very rave reviews in many events, whether in Japan, Europe, or America. So we are very excited with this development to have our R&D to work hand in hand with Aspion to come up with more and more innovative products to move Top Glove as a leader in this field.
I've been speaking to Dato' Lee Kim Yao, the MD of Top Glove. If you've missed this interview or if you want to learn more about other interviews that we have in store for us, just head on to awanireview.com or astroawani.com. Follow us on all our social sites at Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. I'm Ibrahim Sani. Thanks very much for watching. Until we see you again.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.